Hey everybody, it's Shady17402, and welcome back to another episode of Nancy Drew Ghost Dogs and Moon Lake. In this episode, we are going to be getting the contact information of Vivian Brunette, one of Mickey Malone's old girlfriends. I gotta wait a couple days for that to happen though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip a couple days. Alright, we should be able to hear back from Ranger Akers now. Alright, and as soon as we get that contact information, we may be able to sort through those envelopes in the ranger station, because there's some important information in there that we will need later on. Oh, excuse me. Hey there, Ranger Akers, you got anything for me?
Good news. I have information on your mystery woman.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you so much. Is she still alive?
Her name these days is Vivian Whitmore. She lives in Las Vegas, and her number is 702-555-9137.
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure.
Okay. Maybe I can look at the stuff in the...
I probably shouldn't mess around with this
Alright,
without
can I look
Ranger
at
Akers'
can I look through that now, please?
Hello there.
No?
Thanks for all your help.
Always
All
a
right.
pleasure.
Well, I guess I gotta contact Vivian before I can do anything with those envelopes. Alright, alright. Phone number, okay, it's 1-702-555-9137.
If you're selling something, hang up right now. I got an air horn in my hand that could deafen a dinosaur, and I'm not afraid to use
Oh, that
it.
sounds like my
no,
sister.
please,
That
I'm
sounds
not
so
selling
much
anything,
like my
believe me.
sister.
Is this Vivian Whitmore?
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You got exactly 5 seconds to state your business.
My name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from Moon Lake, Pennsylvania.
Oh, my
I just
God.
wanted to ask you some questions.
Oh, right. The Moon Lake Park Ranger
This lady-
said you might call. But you have to talk fast. An old friend of mine is flying in today from Florida. And when I say old, I mean old, as in 5 years older than I am.
Oh, wow.
Don't bother trying to do the math sweet stuff. You'll hurt yourself. So,
Well, I'm actually pretty good at math, so I don't think I'll actually hurt myself while doing
you
it.
found an old picture of me.
It was of you and Mickey Malone. Do you remember him?
Of course I remember him. I remember everything about that time of my life. It was the roaring 20s, for crying out loud. One of the most exciting decades in American history.
Alright, well, at least your mind's not going to mush.
Because I've got a few years on most people doesn't mean my brain's turned to tapioca, sweet stuff.
Okay, you've made your point.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
This
didn't
woman
mean to
reminds me
offend you.
so much of my
Mickey
sister.
and I dated for 5 years. Oh, I knew what he was, and I didn't approve, believe you me. But I was young, and we got along so well, and he was so considerate. He always kept birch beer on tap at that speakeasy of his just for me.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
He had a speakeasy? Where?
It was in the basement, right there at Moon Lake. Feds never knew about it, but everybody who was
That's strange. I looked in the
anybody
basement and there was
back
nothing
then,
that looked like a
actors,
speakeasy in there.
musicians, bankers,
Although I did see a lot of barrels
politicians,
down there.
they knew. You weren't big time unless you'd made at least one trip to Moon Lake Mickey's.
That's weird. I'm staying in his old house on Moon Lake, and I haven't seen any sign of a speakeasy.
Course you haven't. You're not supposed to. Only Mickey and Willie knew how to get into the speakeasy from the house. The rest of us had to go in and out the regular way, through the cemetery.
Interesting.
The cemetery?
There was a lock hidden in one of the tombstones in that little cemetery behind the house. You needed a key to unlock it, and when you did, stairs would appear that led to the speakeasy.
Do you have any idea how to get into Malone's speakeasy from the house?
I sure don't. That saloon was built using two main ingredients, concrete and secrecy. Mickey always bragged that nobody could get in unless he wanted them in, and I do believe he was right.
Well, I certainly believe you, considering that I can't find
If you
it.
send me that picture of me and Mickey, I'll send you my key.
The key to the tombstone? You still have it?
It's in the bottom of my jewelry box. I've come this close to throwing it out 100 times, but it's so small, and the memories it brings back are so big. Well, I just couldn't. As a joke, Mickey had a tombstone made with the name of this federal agent who had it out for him inscribed on it. That's the one the key unlocks.
You wouldn't by any chance know the name of the federal agent, would you?
Do you know anything about the safe that's in the cellar of his house at Moon Lake?
You must be talking about the wall safe. That was Willie. By Willie, I mean William Akers, one of the guys who worked for Mickey.
I don't suppose you happen to know the combination.
No one knew the combination, not even Mickey. Mostly because Willie was constantly changing it. He was a little paranoid and superstitious. Well, as I recall, he'd pick the most unlucky number he could think of and use that for the combination. He called it a reverse jinx.
Interesting.
Unlucky number? Like what?
Oh, like the date that something bad happened, like when the stock market crashed, or when somebody died, or the address of a house that caught fire, or the phone number of the police, that sort of thing.
Okay, then.
It's been fun talking to you.
I know.
Oh, that is definitely my sister. Okay, I'm going to go, mail this photo to Vivian now. La 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 la. Oh, Mr. Akers, I
Hello
have
again,
something
Miss
for
Drew.
you.
Am I in for another interrogation?
Well, not exactly.
I'd like to mail this photo to the woman in Las Vegas. Can you do that for me?
As always, I'm here to serve, Miss Drew. Just give it to me, and I'll take care of it. I'm sure she'll be very pleased to get this back.
Where's Yogi?
In the run out back. Even out of sight, he's under my full control, as park rules require.
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, Mr. Akers, please tell me I can go, look through your files now.
I probably shouldn't mess around with this without Ranger Akers' permission.
Hello again, Miss Drew.
Thanks for all
Still
your help.
nothing?
Not a problem.
Oh, God. I'm gonna have to figure out how to, look through those files. But first, let me skip forward a few days so that I can, look for, not look for, so that I can get the key. PM. And then PM. And AM. Alright, so let's go back to the ranger station and get that key. Maybe I have to listen to the whole phrase before shutting it?
I probably shouldn't mess around with this without Ranger Akers' permission.
I don't know. Okay, please tell me that did the trick.
A package just arrived for you from Las Vegas.
Alright.
Great! Vivian sent me the key.
I'll dispose of the package. Wouldn't want to break any littering laws, would we?
Thanks for all your help.
Nope, certainly
Not a
wouldn't.
problem.
Well, I don't know how you're supposed to trigger that, but you definitely need to look through those files. Just give me a second. I'll see if I can get to a place where I actually can look through the files. Alright, I couldn't actually get to a point, mostly because I was lazy, where I could look at the files. So I'm just gonna go ahead and look at this real quick for you guys. Okay, so basically what you're supposed to do Ranger Akers gives you permission. You're supposed to line up these folders according to year per into their proper sections. So, like this one, 1900 to 1912. So the earliest year goes in the front, and the latest year goes in the back. So here we have 1900, 1904, 1904, 1908, 1910, and 1911. So yeah, basically just line the envelopes up like this and then you should be able to look through them. So here are a couple of the folders that you're supposed to look at. Is a gangster about to become Moon Lake's newest resident? Rumors are flying thick and fast as Mickey Malone, a self-proclaimed captain of industry with far more ties to gamblers and smugglers than to blah blah blah. Actually, this probably isn't necessary to look at. Well, I think actually, yeah, here we go. This is the one that we're supposed to look at. Mickey Malone arrested at his luxurious Moon Lake property. Mickey Malone was a Philadelphia businessman, long considered by police to be a bootlegger and racketeer. Finally felt the sting of the sword of justice when he was arrested this morning at his house on Moon Lake. And the date of that is January 29th, 1932. So that will be the combination to the safe in the basement. And there's also something here. Where is it? Is it in here? Shall we showcases? Ring Malone. Hold on. Yes, here we go. Agent Waldo Matthias. This was the agent that had it out for Mickey. So you're supposed to look out for the tombstone with the name Waldo Matthias on it in the cemetery behind the house. Alright, so let's get back to that safe. Alright, so I'm back at the safe. So the unlucky date that we're supposed to enter in is the day Malone was arrested. So that is 0129. Oh wait, no. Crap, reset. Oh my god, this takes such a long time to reset. Alright, so 012932. That is the day Malone was arrested. Oh, we got mice in here. That's lovely.
I bet those were deer mice.
Alright, so what you're supposed to do around deer mice is that you're supposed to use a gas mask and gloves around areas that they're supposed to have nested.
Speakeasy.
So, hold on. Alright, today Mickey went to prison, but when they were walking him to the paddy wagon, he told me to take care of the dogs, and when the time came to do their tombstones like he told me, then whispered to me to look under the Victoria in the speakeasy at Moon Lake. He said I'd find a map to the gold he stole 2 years ago. When they shoved him into the wagon, and that was that. Then they shoved him into the wagon. That was that. Poor Mickey. How's a guy who never spent one night in jail supposed to spend 8 years in prison? He'll never make it. I think he wants me to have the gold because deep down he knows he's never coming home. Anyway, I looked under the Victoria and found the map. The problem is there's nothing on it except a bunch of lines and the words "the dogs will lead the way." There's no X marking the spot or directions or nothing. But I need the money bad. My wife and baby haven't had anything decent to eat in months. So I'm gonna pack them up and move to Moon Lake permanently so I can spend all my time looking for the gold. Mickey never told me outright that he was the guy who pulled off the hole-in-the-floor gold heist. He always said The less I knew, the healthier I'd stay. But according to the papers, a bunch of gold was stolen off a moving train right under the noses of a dozen Pinkertons, I think that says. Mickey must have greased somebody's palm real good and got him to cut a hole in the floor of the boxcar. The gold was gonna be shipped in after... The gold was going to be shipped in. After the gold was loaded, one of the boys crawled under the train and pulled himself into the boxcar. Then when the train was moving, he dropped the gold down the hole onto the tracks. Mickey's boys picked it up and got away clean. Nobody ever suspected Mickey was behind it. So what I'm looking for is 20 gold bars. The papers said altogether they weighed about 600 pounds. The question is, did Mickey hide them in one place, or did he spread them around? He must have buried them, but where? I just thought of something. Maybe Mickey trained his dogs to go to the gold if you say the right word. I'm going to try saying gold to them tomorrow and see what happens. I've said every word I can think of, but the dogs haven't led me anywhere except around in circles. I spent the last month following them around. First Xander, then Vitus, then Lucy. I don't have to follow Iggy because all he does is sleep on the porch. So it looks like I'm going to have to start digging. I'll dig under the porch first, seeing as that's where Iggy's always is. A month ago, I started working as a handyman over in Lewistown to make ends meet. So even though I stop by Mickey's every day to feed the dogs, I can only look for the gold at night. I dug all around under the porch, but didn't find nothing. I marked the porch on the map.
Joe Akers? Emily said Jeff Akers' father was named Joe. Maybe Jeff is related to William Akers after all.
Very interesting. On the map with a big I for Iggy because that's the place where he always leads me to. I was so busy digging last Tuesday night that I almost wasn't there when my son was born. We're calling him Joe. His big sister is real happy, she said. She says baby Joe is just like the dolly she's always wanted, but we could never afford to get her. Truth is, we can't really afford Joe neither. I keep writing to Mickey asking him to please tell me straight out where the gold is, but he never writes back. I'll just have to keep digging. Now I spend all of my free time digging in the woods. I dig around everything that could be a landmark, logs, rocks, trees, stumps, but I can never find nothing. Plus, I keep getting lost. The paths look so much alike, especially at night, that I spend most of my time trying to figure out where I am. So last Sunday, I memorized the way to the cemetery. Blah, blah, blah. I give up. Mickey's dead, and so are all his dogs. I never find the gold. I got a job offer in Harrisburg. I'm gonna take it. Little Joe and Sarah deserve a better life than they've gotten so far, and it's high time Callie got a nice house and a husband who doesn't spend all of his time chasing after something that he can't find. But I'm leaving this journal here because who knows, maybe someday I'll suddenly remember something Mickey said and it'll hit me where he'd hit the gold. Maybe I'll come back here and find it after all. But in the meantime, I got my family. They're what's important. Their treasure enough.
Dogs will lead the way. I wonder what that means.
So do I, Nancy. So do I. But we're going to be figuring that out in the next episode. So next time on Nancy Drew Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, we're going to be searching for Waldo Matthias's tombstone in the graveyard and see if we can find our way into the speakeasy. Alright, see you guys next time.